Hello, Sandra here from Atelier Vintage Rose. Today I want to show you some projects that I made for the booth from Sanny Bretoniere. This is Sanny. And I've already showed you the journal and I've showed you the gorgeous sewing machine that I made, but I made her some other stuff. So the first one is over here. That's a purple card. And I used her seam binding and the laces from her and her roses. And then I made her a purple tassel. That one is like this with a little rose on the back. And that's that one. And then I made a huge tag. And that's a card as well. She also has these dresses on her booth. And here is a pink card. And that's just a bow with a seam binding and some roses that are glittered up. And it says celebrate. And over here, I have decorated a little bit a photo album that you can just put your photos in. And I've got a little rose and some seam binding right here with some pearls. And this is one of the cards that she has also. And then I made her an album, a journal cover. So this is the journal with her lace and the roses. And these are two, I don't know if that shows. These are two charms that I got on there. And she wanted a wrap around piece, so that I did that. And I made a little rose from the seam binding, a little flower, and some seam binding over here. So with her cards and her laces right there. So that's the journal cover. And then I also made her a journal. And I also decorated the inside. I will show you right now. On the front I made a bow with these gorgeous flowers. And here is how the signatures are sewn in. That's with seam binding. And here is a flower with the tulle that she's selling. And here I've got a little bit of seam binding. It says Journey. And it just closes with some seam binding as well, but then in the green colors. She sells all these soft colors in the Netherlands, and I believe she's in Belgium and Germany at one point. So I will leave the link to her website in the description box below. And when I open it up, I've got a little paper here and some lace from her. This is a card that she has, and with some lace I put some music paper. This is the first like junk journal, I believe you call it, that are in this. Most of the papers are from Shabby Art Boutique. And this is a little bit of lace, and I put some writing papers here and some seam binding. And this is from an old newspaper that I got, French newspaper. Here is one of her cards. And this is just a printed page on print paper. And this is a pocket right here with some seam binding in two colors. And here is one of the cards, and I put some lace behind it. And then we have a few pages with just place to write something on, if I can open it like this. And yeah, some pretty pages in it. Here is another card. This is also a piece of lace that she's got, and some seam binding. I've got a picture with some seam binding that I ironed and then put under the machine, the sewing machine. Here are some papers, and here is a golden seam binding. And then I made a little cluster here with a flower from seam binding. This is her lace, but then all with a hot glue gun I made a ruffle. Here's a beautiful picture, and then some papers again. And these are some papers, and here you can see that I bind it with the seam binding there. And here are some papers. This is her lace, another card from her, and yeah, these gorgeous papers, of course, from Shabby Art Boutique. And then the last card from Sanny. And then this is the back. This is a dress, and this is my name, Atelier Vintage Rose, made with love, Sandra. And I ruffled some I scrunched together some lace right there, and this is one of the cards that she has on her booth. So yeah, this is the whole journal that I made, and here are all the beautiful things, projects that I made together. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.